I've been doing this for quite a while, 15 years online and then 20 years of woodworking. And over that time, I have changed my mind on a few things. If you go back to my earliest videos, you will definitely find things that if you talk to me today, you're going to see that I'm contradicting myself. It's just what happens over time when you're constantly learning. All right, so these are 5 things that I've changed my mind about. Number 1 is the world of finishes. When I first started woodworking, I was trying to amass a clientele. I was building lots of furniture for other people, and I wanted the most durable finishes that could be applied quickly. So I sprayed a lot of stuff, usually a catalyzed lacquer. You can get into things like conversion varnish. These are good ways to make sure you don't get a callback for damaged finishes. Well, over the years, I stopped building for clients, and I mostly build for myself or for family, and I've moved more towards hard wax oils. They're easier to apply, they're better for you, not really dangerous chemicals to work with, and they're very easy to repair. And this is important because I might have to do that repair at some point, but it's in my own home, so I don't care. All right, so over time, I have just gravitated to safer, more environmentally friendly, and human-friendly finishes. Second is the need for dead flat surfaces. When I first started woodworking, I was told that a torsion box is everything. So I built one and I made a video on YouTube about it. And it's great to have dead flat surfaces. There's really no negative to it, but do you actually need it? In reality, I don't think so. I've got a big old workbench that I built, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and I've never flattened it since the initial flattening. Does it affect my work? No. Honestly, I don't even know if it's still flat. You know what? I don't want to know, because if I know, then I'm going to want to fix it. And I don't need to fix it, because what it really comes down to is most of the work I do, if I have a mostly flat, maybe 2 by 2 foot area, that's fine for my needs. I don't need this entire length to be dead flat. Now here's an assembly outfeed table I made recently. I could have done a torsion box for this, but I just didn't feel the need to. So it's just a double thickness layer of 2 sheet goods, and it's flat enough. Now, if you do actually need something that's dead flat, if you have a table saw, there's a good chance that your table saw surface is flat enough. So if you need to level some table legs, chair legs, stool legs, whatever, you do have something in the shop that is close to being dead flat. Number 3 is shop size. You know, in the past, I had a much larger shop, and now my shop is smaller. I'm actually okay with it. So my shop back in Arizona was 1,800 square feet. And you know what I did with it? Nothing. It was just a big open space. I was really afraid to commit to doing things to the interior that would lock me in, so I did nothing, which is moronic, but that's how it went down. When I moved to Colorado, I moved to a much smaller 4-car garage. I'm less than 1,000 square feet now, but it is so much more efficient, and it's mostly because, maybe it's a personal flaw of mine, but I'm much more creative when I'm solving a problem. So when I see a space that's like, well, how do I fit my dust collector there? How do I fit the wood there? I come up with creative solutions, and now things are closer, so I don't have as much space between the tools. I'd love more storage space, that's for sure, but ultimately my shop is now more efficient because it's smaller. And letter D is putting varnish on a cutting board. This is something I used to do all the time. I still think it's safe, and I think if you want to do it, it's perfectly fine. But over the years, I've started to look at some of the other oil and wax finishes, maybe not as durable, but I think they let the cutting board do what a cutting board is supposed to do. That is, absorb some of the liquid, but then let it dry completely, and that's what kills the bacteria. So over time, I've gravitated a little bit more toward polymerized oils. No nasty chemicals in there, but they definitely are finishes that will dry to a film, and they protect the surface, but it's not completely impervious to moisture, and that's essential for the natural disinfection that happens with the wood. Just use some hot water and a little soap. What? And letter 5 is outdoor finishes. You know, in the past, I would try to make my outdoor furniture bulletproof. That just doesn't work. Film finishes degrade under the sun, and I have a video that I just did recently showing how some of the furniture I've made over the years has held up, so go check that out. But to sum up, if it's a film finish and it's going to be exposed, heavily exposed to sun and elements, I don't think it's going to fare very well. I will go with something that's a little bit more, let's say it's less durable, but it allows the wood to breathe and it's very easy to maintain. I will use film finishes if it's completely covered and has minimal exposure to the elements. All right, so those were 14 things I've changed my mind on. Hopefully you understand why this happens, right? Because we want to keep learning. We learn from other people, we get exposed to different things, and you know what? Our tastes change over time, and that's totally okay. I'd love to hear from you guys. What are some of the things that you've changed your mind on as you've been in the craft longer and longer? All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.